No intro. I refuse. You get absolutely nothing.
If you live in the United States. If you live outside the United States, you get everything. But here in the United States, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to get bent over backwards, and you're going to get screwed heavily by TKO and the WWE and Disney, and
everybody.
Everybody.
I'm gonna do the Bret Hart from 1997 thing where it's, you know what, I want to apologize to all my fans in Canada and Europe and everywhere I went, but in the United States, I apologize for nothing. You take away the pay-per-views from Peacock, put it on ESPN. I kiss my ass. That's exactly what I would say, because
it's bullshit.
Oh my god, it's bullshit. Everyone keeps turning a blind eye. You keep turning a blind eye. Everybody knows in that goddamn dressing room that I'm the best there is, the best there was, and the best that ever will be. Oh man. See, don't make me happy right now, because that promo was like some of the best work that Bret Hart ever Bret Hart's done a lot of great work, but that might be one of his best years, despite how it ended. But but oh man, well, what a difference 8 months make, right?
We were so high on the Rumble because it was something different. We were like, wait, Jey Uso won. That didn't turn out very well, but we were like, wait, what? Well, Charlotte winning was kind of terrible, but I mean, we was still into it. We was interested in seeing what was going to happen, but wow.
Every week on Good Ol Wrasslin, a few months ago, it was like, oh, AEW did something bad. Oh, but look at what WWE's doing. They're doing something really well here. But in 8 months later, I don't understand how you could tank all the remaining goodwill that you had in the span of 8 to 9 months. It's incredible, in whole honesty. But then again, knowing what company this is, am I surprised? No. Disappointed? No. And I'm going to explain why. Because this company has always been known for shady business practices, and TKO, well, they're just going to TKO it. But the point is, WWE and TKO have officially lost their minds. And when I say they lost their minds, they lost their minds. Now, I know what all the WWE fans are going to say is they're going to be like, oh, but it's business. You got to make money. I understand that. But when we've talked about this many times before, Shifty, when you've conditioned your fans to spend $10, $10 or less on, whatever streaming service, whether it be the network or Peacock, but you're getting the backlog, you're getting the library or most of the library because there are things that they just didn't have, maybe just due to rights issues,
or you're getting Peacock originals and stuff like that.
Yeah, various different things, and you're spending $10, and this is the one positive thing you'll ever hear me on the channel say about Vince McMahon. Say what you will, but Vince McMahon never nickel and dimed people. Well, he kind of did, but at the same time, at least when I watched a shitty pay-per-view of his, I'd have been like, wow, that sucked. But at least it was $10, so I can't completely be upset about it. Whereas now, you're asking me to pay $30.
Well, that's if you're somebody who doesn't have ESPN through your cable or satellite package. But there's a lot of people who don't like sports, and you're asking them to next year, or I think it's cheaper right now because it's just the ESPN app, not the ESPN whatever it's called, is coming out next year, which is going to be $30. You're asking them to buy something for 3 times the amount or more, and that's the PLA is the only thing that they may have interest in, and it's Disney because Disney bought the rights for the pay-per-views. What I don't understand is the WWE all these years and decades have claimed that wrestling, their what they produce, is sports entertainment. That's sports and entertainment. Why don't they offer the WWE PLEs on Disney Plus and whatever that's coming out next year, the Disney Plus Hulu uh, new streaming app that they're going to put out? Why not offer it on there too? I mean, it's the same parent company. You're still getting subs either way. I don't understand that. You're making a large portion of your audience pay a bunch of money if they, if they're even willing to. Like for me and you, we're quitting. We're walking away.
Yeah, spoiler alert, everybody. I'm walking away. I actually walked away a few months ago, but this just reconfirms my stance that
You lost
I'm
your
done.
smile.
I lost my smile. I gotta go back and find it as like tears are streaming down everyone's faces. Oh my god, I can't believe he lost his smile. But really, I'm just not putting this company over. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna do a
Yeah.
backflip at the next pay per view just to show that I was bullshitting the entire time.
And
But
what gets this week? What the big thing is? Everybody thought it was that they weren't going to do this deal until next year at WrestleMania. No, no, because Peacock used up all their dates. Supposedly, they're moving over to ESPN next month on the 20th. So, surprise, motherfuckers! You ain't getting your pay per views for the rest of the year outside of of the champ or Clash at the Castle. That's supposedly the last one for Peacock subscribers. So. I hope you enjoy it because that's the last one before you got to start ponying up for whatever it costs to get ESPN now.
now, see, in that situation, I feel like all parties here were very stupid because I think
Yeah.
Peacock should have looked at like the dates and went like, wait a minute, something's not adding
Wait
up
a minute.
here. Well, wait a minute. Well, what's going on here? I've been told in the truck that it seems like that the dates are not aligned right. We are going to be taking it back. Hulk Hogan. Oh, yeah, shit. Maybe shouldn't use him.
No.
Well, we just got word that the Giant will be making an appearance here, and he and the Dungeon of Doom
Wait.
are going to be.
He's contracted to AEW.
Oh, god damn it! We've just got word that Jimmy Hart of the Dungeon of Doom is going to be coming back live to explain this fiasco. Bobby, well, what do you think? I'll back up my hands and knees. Please, someone tell me what's going on. All right, Brain, that's a great assessment from you. We'll just take it right back because this is ridiculous. Well, hang on a minute. Well, what's going on? Ric Flair just turned out Sting again. Okay, I don't know what I was going on there. Eric Bischoff sometimes possesses my body. I don't know what happened there. I blacked out. But
see if the product was like that, still, I mean, it may be worth $30, but
no. And I've said this before, and I've said this, to people, and I've said this on Rob's stream. I think last Sunday was, imagine paying $30 or more for a WrestleMania like we got this year.
Oh,
like,
boy.
You know how pissed I would be? I would have been like, what the fuck? And to top it all off, right? Like, it'd be one thing if the pay-per-views were at least consistent. Like, if I was getting like a consistently good show, I'm not saying it has to be like groundbreaking every month or it's got to be, oh my God, this is the best wrestling ever. If I was getting a consistently good product and maybe if the price was fair, like if you went from $10 to $15, like at least it's not an incredulous increase. Like,
I don't know because you know me, I get in on them Peacock Black Friday deals where it's $1 a month for 6 months, and then when it's up, they're like, "Hey, don't go away. Why don't you stay for $3 a month for another 6 months?" And I'm like, "Yeah, okay, $3 per pay per view. I'll do that." So
I'm using it more as like a theoretical situation.
Yeah. There is a lot of people that unfortunately don't do the deals, and they're like, oh, I'm paying so much for all these streaming services, and I keep on telling them like, you got to get in on the Black Friday deals, and you got to get you 2 different email addresses. That way, you can alternate when the deals are over. If they don't give you like a stay around deal, you alternate on them two email addresses, and you just ride those discounts. Not every one of those streaming services offers the discounts, but if you can get them, get them.
That very great advice from Shiftygism right here
Yeah,
on good old wrestling in
how to
name
be a
only.
cheapskate.
Oh,
How to be a cheapskate,
always.
Springer. Yeah,
But in this theoretical scenario, if you went from 10 to 15, people would have said,
yeah.
"Oh, okay, whatever, fine. It's not like getting credit." Hell, even if like you wanted to say $20, like it's a
Oh,
little,
oh no,
it's
no.
well, it's pushing it, but I don't think the pushback would have gone. It wouldn't be as bad as it is like 30. Like I'm sorry, 30. Because like let's think about this. Each pay per view lately has been like 5 matches and a lot of ads.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah,
so imagine paying that much for a 5-match card where you're primarily just getting ads.
yeah.
That's a little insane.
And we should mention the reason why it is 30 is because supposedly ESPN bought the NFL Network and they own a portion of the NFL now, so they got to get their money back, or they're trying to make this success this streaming app. But I think they should be offering it also on Disney Plus because, like I said, a lot of people don't give a crap about sports.
No. And what makes this worse is apparently the UFC has struck a deal with Paramount Plus to put their pay-per-views on Paramount Plus, and it's going to still be like whatever the Paramount price is. So technically, it's cheaper now to watch a UFC pay-per-view than
Yeah.
it is to watch a WWE PLE.
And here's the kicker. If you're a Walmart Plus subscriber, it's their program for free shipping, free delivery, and you get all sorts of incentives there. You get Paramount with no ads for free for $13, along with the what all you're getting for Walmart Plus. So they got an extra good deal on that if you're a UFC fan.
But again, UFC went from having like whatever, I think it was like $50-$60 for their
Yeah,
pay-per-views, and
yeah,
now they're basically doing what WWE's doing, which is they're doing the $12, whatever for Paramount, $13, whatever. But yet WWE is stuck holding the bag of now having to spend $30 on
yeah,
this ESPN streaming service because Nick Khan, quote unquote, is like, well, this is a smart business decision. People will follow us no matter where we go, whether it be the network, to Peacock, or to ESPN. And I'm thinking to myself, God, I really hope this falls flat on your face
yeah.
because this is insane. Like,
I if it is successful, the only reason it's successful is because of the people that's paying for the NFL
yeah.
fans, and there's a lot of them.
But even then, it's like because I know how this is because I actually Shifty, you make a good point. I think they're going to use that metric and they're going to be like, oh well, a lot of people tune into ESPN. That's because of us. When in reality, no,
Yeah,
people wanted it because of the NFL. You're just lucky to be on that streaming service. You had nothing to do with those metrics. Now,
yeah.
do I think people will get ESPN for it? Probably, but I would like to think that sane people, like people that like actually have a brain, like, well, okay, let me just put it out here. I think a lot of wrestling fans don't have brains. I think they're weird. Again, if you're not a weird wrestling fan, then hey, you know what? I apologize, but wrestling fans, let's call it for what it is. 90% of them are pretty weird.
Yeah.
But the point that I guess I'm trying to make here is, I really want people to basically cash checks that your mouth can't. You know the saying where it's like you cash checks, but like your butt can't cash or whatever, like whatever the saying is. Like because you hear all these. all these fans on social media are like, oh my God, how this is an outrage. I can't believe WWE would do this. But then they're like, oh, we're going to protest this. We're going to protest that. And then they're live tweeting Raw the next night.
You're cashing checks you're writing checks that your butt can't cover.
Yeah, that's the one.
I think. I don't know.
That's the line. I don't know. Well, whatever the line is these days. But am I wrong though? Like you get these people like, oh, I'm gonna protest this, I'm gonna protest that, and then they're gonna watch Raw the next night. Like, oh, well, see, that I'm proving my point. I'm hate watching it. It's like, what do you want? It's like this shit is why they're gonna continue doing the bullshit they're doing, is because you quote unquote have to do it, or I'm hate watching. It's like, no, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
Well, I mean, a lot of people aren't watching. Somebody posted something on Twitter today, and they said Fox canceled the WWE because it underperformed. USA is saying that SmackDown is underperforming. It's underperforming on Netflix supposedly. How long? Oh yeah, it underperformed on NBC, and from what I'm hearing, they canceled Saturday Night's Main Event and just moved it over to Peacock. It's a Peacock exclusive. So how long is it going to take before Disney, finds out that the PLEs are underperforming? It's just, I don't know.
I just don't get it.
They're able to sign these big billion-dollar deals, multi-billion-dollar deals, but it's, I guess, because people's just desperate for content. But then they find out, maybe that wasn't quite worth it.
No. And that's the problem. And this is my theory, right, on why TKO and WWE is doing this, is because TKO, and this is just me, but bear with me, that I may be wrong.
They're in debt. They're in heavy debt.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm putting my tinfoil hat on here real quick.
Yeah.
TKO knows they overpaid for WWE. So they have to make their money back somehow, because whatever Vince McMahon sold it for too much. You sold the company to TKO. They know, like, oh shit, we're not making our money, so they're jacking up the ticket prices, which is why they're so fucking high, which I'll get into. And then you're moving streaming services to, and this is the one thing I always gave WWE credit for, regardless of whatever bullshit, whether it be Vince or TKO, but their pay-per-views, they were far ahead with the times when it came to like the pay-per-view model. Like once the pay-per-view model went outdated and went to streaming, WWE did that. But we're now back to, and it's not the same thing, but the fact that you're trying to make me spend $30 to watch, a pay-per-view, and even if, like, okay, you have the cable and stuff, you're still overpaying for it. You're not getting the backlog of content like you would with Peacock or the network. You're not getting all this original content. You're not getting the perks that you would get for all of this. So
how much is it a month? Did we broke it down, or somebody broke it down? And
I think, like, it depends, because if, like, you were doing it like per month, it was like a couple $100. Because if you factor in Netflix, Peacock, Hulu, or cable, like, you're looking at a few hundred. But like if you're doing it like annually, it's like over 1,000.
Way over 1,000. Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. Like, that's not acceptable.
Yeah. Well, that's if you live in the United States. Everything is on freaking Netflix if you live outside the United States. SmackDown, Raw, the PLEs, they're all on Netflix. Now, a lot of people are saying, hey, just use a VPN. Well, a lot of people's not smart enough to know how to use a VPN, or their televisions you can't use it. And, sometimes there's a lot of streaming services that catch on to that shit, and they'll figure it out, and they put a message up like, hey, we see that you're using a VPN. If you want to continue watching our service, you need to send it back to the country that you're actually living in. So, they're going to find out then that, they're going to put a stop to people trying to do that, watch it that way.
But like, if we're just looking at the casual audience that doesn't know how to do like the VPN stuff, or I'm sorry, but this is like in the United States. If you're living elsewhere, good for you. Like you got a better deal elsewhere. But when we're looking at the United States metrics, like that's
Yeah.
that's not acceptable.
It isn't, especially in this time right now when things are just way too high. I mean, the price of beef, you got to take out a second mortgage just to get a pack of steaks right
Yeah.
now. It's terrible. People are hurting in their wallets. Some's living paycheck to paycheck. You see videos all the time of people with like super good degrees and stuff, and they're caught in a bubble where they're you know they're getting screwed, bent over backwards, paying on their student loans and stuff, and they can't put food on their tables. This is a bad time for folks, and they just want just a little bit of entertainment, and it costs too much to go to the movies. It costs too much to have cable TV and shit anymore. The video games, this generation of video games fucking sucks for a lot of reasons. And now you're asking to pay $30 on a wrestling show every month, which I mean, if it's I can see where it may be worth it for a family who like, or some friends come over and they chip in together, to pay for it. Like that's like how we did it back in the old days. People would chip in for a pay per view, but it's still that's a lot to ask. $30 a month, especially like we said, coming off of paying $10 or less every month for those things. It's just not worth it. People can't do it.
No. It's too much.
Yeah.
This is the one thing, like, and I've said maybe this isn't a great comparison because I think Tony Khan and AEW has kind of the same issues in terms of their pay-per-views, but that not all of that's their fault because the HBO Max is still trying to figure out that whole deal. But if you do the math, like, it's unironically cheaper to be an AEW fan because you just need to do the max, right? HBO Max for like your Dynamites and whatever.
Yeah.
And then you pay whatever money it is for the pay-per-view, which is like $40 to $50. Like, yes, the pay-per-views are costly, sure. But,
I mean, if you got friends, like I said,
yeah.
you can chip in like, hey, you toss in a little bit here and there, or you bring food and we'll do something. Have a party. We'll watch some wrestling.
Like, but at least it's not $1,000 a year. Like, is it a couple hundred? Yeah, but it's not as bad as paying over $1,000 for fucking WWE. Like,
how many pay-per-views do they have a year?
AEW.
Yeah.
Because let's see here. Because if we're counting this year, I don't think they did one in January. I think they did Revolution in March. Hang on, let me do some math here because I think they did Revolution either February or March. They did Dynasty after that, and then it was Double or Nothing, and then All In was the last one. Then Forbidden Doors this weekend.
All Out.
All Out's the following pay-per-view. Wrestle Dream, Full Gear. So if 9.
Ooh.
I think I'm not. I'm off on maybe.
That's still a bunch though.
No, it is, but it's not nearly as bad as
because you don't have to. It's not spaced out. You don't have to pay for this network for SmackDown and pay for this network for Raw, and
like for the most part, it's really just two places wherever you get your pay-per-views from and HBO Max. That's it.
Yeah,
like that. At least it's cheaper enough to do that. Is it going to be costly? Sure, but not like over $1,000. I hope not. Again, if it's close to that, maybe I'm insane, but
I got Max and I've never watched AEW on there. Do they put the old pay-per-views on Max?
Yes.
After how many months?
Well, they have their entire backlog up to 2024 on there. They don't have their 2025 pay-per-views yet.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
don't know what their timetable is right now.
Uh-huh.
Because they're like, oh, it's gonna be on a rolling basis, but that was like with the old stuff. They just haven't put all their dynamites, rampages, and collisions on there yet, so it's kind of a crapshoot right now. But at least with the pay per views, they're all on there for the most part, except for the later ones. But it's just telling, right? Like in the span of a few months, how WWE has lost all this goodwill, and
Yeah.
and their booking this year has been atrocious. Like,
Cena's heel run. Yeah.
yeah, that was bad. Like, I think we can all come to an agreement that that was horrible. It
And it come to find out, Rock wasn't to blame on this either.
No,
So
he
that's
wasn't.
2 years. 2 years we found out everybody was blaming crap on the Rock, and both years everything that was blamed on him wasn't true. So I
No,
mean, we need to apologize to Dwayne Johnson. He
yeah.
he had our best interests at heart, and everybody said, "Fuck you, Rock." Man,
You know what, Dwayne? I will be the first one to say I'm sorry. Yeah, do I have issues with you over the Black Adam thing? Yes, but you know what? All's forgiven. At least I can make fun of you for the whole hierarchy thing and Zoa and all the stupid stuff you've done in between. But you know what, Dwayne? I do forgive you or I apologize to you, sir, for judging you based off the bullshit this year because it wasn't all your fault. It was TKO and Triple H. I'm sorry, but Triple H has to take some blame here too. He's not blameless in this.
oh yeah, I mean, he supposedly it was his idea to get rid of the uh, junket or the interviews after the pay per views,
Yeah,
which is a huge thing, I guess, because Brock coming back, and then the news the news hadn't broke about the pay per views being the $30. That was like the day after. So I guess that he knew that would be a thing coming up on the future pay per views where people would be like, "Are you sure you want to be charging $30 a month for these shows?" So they're
like
not
because
doing them anymore.
he knew he was going to get pushback on all of it.
Yeah, yeah,
So again, as a business standpoint, like I understand why, but it's very stupid because now it comes off like, well, now you're doing this because you're trying to avoid the backlash of your stupid decisions. When in reality, just own up to it and say, yeah, we're doing this because of this, that, the other. Sure, yeah, they're doing it in interviews and stuff, but if the press is cornering you like, hey, so what's going on? Just come out and say, yeah, we're doing this because of this, that, the other. You don't like it, don't watch it. Like, I don't get it. I and I watched OTRS Essentials video on SummerSlam. I'll be the first one to admit I didn't watch SummerSlam. I didn't watch any of it. Well, I'm lying. I watched one match, and that was the Cody Cena match because I was morbidly curious on what they were going to do.
I watched
Uh,
the entire pay per view, but I fell asleep during that match. So
I,
maybe the best match on there, I fell asleep. I don't know.
I mean, from what I saw of it, it was good for Cena's 2025 standards. Probably the best Cena match in a while. I'll give him
Actually,
that.
I take that back. The best match on the pay per view that I saw was, of course, always it was the triple threat between Rhea, Io, and who was it? Who was it?
Naomi.
Naomi. Yes, 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 yes.
But see,
Oh,
that's been
yeah, Naomi having a kid. Congratulations. If you're listening to the show, Naomi, congratulations.
yes, congratulations. But that's been a main thing this whole year with WWE. The women have been killing it.
Yeah,
Like they've been hitting all cylinders where all the men's stuff is just not.
yeah. Hey, that company that Natty's working for now. What is it? GCW.
I think it's like Bloodsport or GCW, one of those
Where
things.
where can you watch that at? Because damn, she's really like reinvented herself. Like wow. Like she's really kicking some ass doing what she's doing now.
Oh yeah.
Is that like on YouTube or is it where's that on? What I don't
I'm not sure. I think it's like Fight TV or something.
I have no idea what that is.
Or
Okay.
it's like wherever the pay-per-views are.
Oh.
It's it's
Oh, it's a
interesting.
pay it's a pay-per-view? It's not a show?
It's something like that. I'm not exactly sure where you find
Oh,
those, but
okay.
but I feel like again a lot of things and I'm gonna get back to this real quick. OTR Central
Yeah.
said it best. When you look at the show and when you look at WWE this whole year, and if you look at the main event scene in general, it's like what the fuck was the point of any of it? Because
Yeah.
if you think about it, all this, everything's been pointless. You start the year off with Cena turning heel. Cody's the
Yeah.
champion. Cena wins the belt. What happens a few months later? Well, Cena's the babyface again, and Cody's the champion again. So essentially, we went around in circles for fucking nothing.
Mhm.
And then you put the belt on Jey Uso, which okay, fair enough. You put the belt on Jey Uso. You put the belt on Jey. You have him lose it back to Gunther, the guy he beat, just to put the belt on CM Punk, just to turn around and have him be, cashed in on by Seth Rollins. We're retreading old storylines.
Yeah.
And
Well,
furthermore,
they're setting that up for WrestleMania. The Punk and Rollins.
well, but still, it's still the
Yeah.
point. Like, Seth
Yeah.
Rollins is a guy who, let's face it, he's great, but he's a guy that already had his big moments. Like,
Mhm.
he really doesn't. It's one of those things where he doesn't need it. I feel like he's at the point in his career where it's like you're just stat padding. Same with Punk. Punk, and as much as I love Gunther, it's like, and I get it, he had the injury going on, so it's like there's really not much you can do with that. But I mean, you could have went with it in any different ways, but it's the problem is it's the same fucking people that
Yeah.
it's always on. And they fucked up with Jay and Cena so bad that you essentially had to go back to square one.
Well, I don't necessarily think they fucked up with Cena so much as they may have halfway, but Cena he sucks. I mean he's I just don't think I mean he had all these years to come up with a decent way to be, to do a heel run, and what he gave us was trash. It was awful. I mean, I don't like anything about Cena. I always think he's half-assed in everything I've seen him in, acting wise, wrestling wise, selling wise. I just, man, I just don't care for the guy. So I don't think anything he would have came up with for uh, trying to be a heel would have been successful. And it just proves it because this was terrible, and it fizzled out before they could even try to end it properly at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it just nothing worked. And then the women have been killing it. That's been the biggest highlight. The excessive celebrity usage is now getting to a point where it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
The advertisements, again, why? Like, I understand they're owned by TKO and they want to be more like UFC, but like all this stuff, like all the shit on the ring ape on the canvas and all that stuff is just like
Yeah.
really.
Well, I don't mind the stuff on the canvas because uh, New Japan has done it for decades. It's fine, but it's when you start slapping Slim Jim logos on tables and
That and
you start putting
that's what it
big
is.
big ass logos on the ring skirts, and you put tons of logos around the on the barricades, and you have big ass prime bottles and stands sitting next to the announce desk. It's, yeah, that's where it gets to be a problem.
Like, at least when New Japan did it, it was fine because it
Yeah.
wasn't, like, completely distracting.
No. Yeah.
But in WWE, it's fucking distracting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it'd be one thing if you put it, like, on a ring, like, on a turnbuckle pad, or putting it, like, on a barricade or a ring post. Like, that's one thing. But when you got but then you're putting it on tables, ladders. There was a dude wipes thing on the Money in the Bank briefcase. It's it's gotten to a point where now it's too much. Like, you don't have all this fucking money to begin with. Now all of a sudden you got to put ads on everything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You think they have enough money with the price of the seats?
Jesus Christ! It's like, and that really pissed me off, because originally I wasn't gonna do a stream. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was gonna, you know what? I'm just gonna quietly walk away, maybe brief mention here and there. But then I see the ticket prices, not even just the ticket price for WrestleMania, but the ticket prices for whatever this WrestlePalooza show is gonna be with Brock and Cena. Like,
Yeah.
it's fucking absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're seeing front row tickets for WrestleMania going up to $20,000.
Well, they said for the 2-day package, for the front row seats, they're 75, and that includes both days.
75,000.
That's what I saw today on Twitter. I can't confirm it, but I wouldn't doubt it, because you got athletes and rappers and Macaulay Culkin and then a whole bunch of people like that. They're always there. You got green shirt guy who's, I don't know how he can afford going to every show and being in the front row, but he's there. I don't know. I don't know.
It's just, it's insane. Like, and then to top it off, and then this WrestlePalooza show, like, for like high end seats, like, you're looking at $7,000. Like,
Oh, that's cheap compared to WrestleMania.
well, it is, but still,
Yeah.
7,000 for Wrestle fucking Palooza.
Yeah.
First of all, why would you want to go to a show called WrestlePalooza anyway? Like, I don't know. Like, I understand it's an ECW thing, but still, it's just a really weird. Like, out of all the ECW pay-per-views, why the fuck are we using WrestlePalooza?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's ECW got it from like a music festival, but yeah.
It's just so dumb and goofy, and then there are talks that TKO wants to do 2 WrestleManias a year, which is like, what the fuck is the point?
Yeah, you got SummerSlam. What the hell?
Like, the whole thing about WrestleMania was it was one night a year. It was the biggest show of the year, and now you want to do 2, which I'm going to suspect is they're going to do one in the States, and then they want to do like a Saudi one or an international one. But here's the problem. You have 4 big ones. Why are we adding another WrestleMania on top of it?
I don't know.
Like, does it make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me.
No. Nothing makes sense anymore.
No. I just don't, I've never been so disenfranchised with this, I haven't been this disenfranchised, this out of it with this company in a long time. Like,
Go ahead.
I've seen, I've started watching wrestling since 2011. I've watched wrestling for over a decade now. And I've been through a lot of shit. I've seen a lot, fair share of shit. I've watched shitty pay-per-views. I've watched things like the Jinder Mahal title run. I've seen things like the fucking Fiend and Seth Rollins fiasco. I've seen Goldberg bury talent in the span of in those few years. Like, I've been through so much of Vince McMahon's bullshit. I thought we've been past the worst of it. But apparently, TKO has made it their mission to do what John Cena's goal was when he turned heel, was to ruin wrestling. Well, TKO, you fucking did it. You pretty much ruined wrestling. I hope you're happy with yourselves.
while I am done, I'm not disenfranchised. There's still a lot of it I like, and that's why the $30 price tag stings. Because even though I do fall asleep a lot of times during the pay per views, I still enjoy a lot of the product. I don't think it's quite as bad. I mean, it is bad, but it's not as quite as bad as certain periods I've lived through since I started back in 1991. I only took 2 years off during the pandemic, but once the network came around, I've watched every pay per view just about outside of those 2 years since the network came around. Uh, Continuing over to Peacock. So it's that's going to be a huge hole. Uh, I I think I'll be all right because those 2 years I didn't think about wrestling at all, but I I wasn't. I was kind of drifting off anyway around that time, but now there's people I like McIntyre and uh, Dom, and I'd like to see how he progresses through his career because he's still pretty young. But I'm I'm not doing $30. I mean,
No.
I can afford it. I can afford it, but there's better uses of $30, whether it be groceries or I started collecting action figures last year. I mean, that's an action figure I can put on my shelf there. So, or that's a whole shitload of discounted video games I can get on Steam or PSN. So, there's a lot of better things that I could do with that $30. And plus, like I said, I'm only paying $3 right now for Peacock. And then plus the fact that like a lot of people are, if you got ESPN, you're getting it for free, that for free. So, if they would put it on Disney Plus, that would be great because I got Disney Plus and sports and entertainment. Like I said, same parent company. Put it on both. Put it on ESPN. Put it on Disney. Throw us a bone here, but they ain't going to. They won't do it.
You know what would be smart, because since Disney also owns Hulu and they're merging Hulu and Disney Plus,
Yeah.
why? So here, if you're so gung ho about this $30 ESPN deal, which fine, let's play with this. What I would have done is go, okay, well, since the library, we don't know what the fuck's going to happen to that still. What I would recommend is, okay, the library of stuff is going to go onto Disney Plus / Hulu, because Hulu's got SmackDown anyway. Might as well put everything else on Disney Plus. And then with the pay per views, you could put them on, ESPN for $30 or whatever, and then have the replay up within 30 to 60 days.
Wait, does Hulu have SmackDown?
Last time I checked, yes.
Really?
I think. I'm not sure. I may be
Because
wrong.
yeah, they're not affiliated with Universal, so that's it. Yeah, it would have to be on Peacock, but see, Peacock is like a month behind when they get theirs, and there's no USA app. So right now, the only way to watch SmackDown in the United States is having a cable or satellite subscription to watch USA.
Well, I
From
guess
my
maybe
understanding,
because I remember you could watch SmackDown live on Hulu, so maybe I thought
you can't. Oh, but yeah, if you subscribe to their live TV package, probably.
that's what I meant. Yeah,
Okay, okay, yeah, that costs a lot more. That's a lot more than a basic subscription.
right. But it's just I'm trying to think of better alternatives here,
Yeah.
because there are better ways you could have went about it. It's just not the way they're going about it makes no sense, and it's just at the end of the day, it's more costly to be a wrestling fan now because TKO needs their money, because I'm sorry, they overpaid for this.
hmm And what about them fans? I don't, man. There's a lot of people on YouTube that collects wrestling figures. I don't know if they're making enough YouTube money to where it can go back into buying the toys or whatever, or if they get them sent to them for free or whatever. But there's people that they follow the shows, they go to the shows, and then they're like opening up like man, it seems like 30 figures or more a month on their channels. And those things range from like $10 up to $35 or more for the sets. It's crazy how much some fans, they spend on WWE, not including the T-shirts and stuff that they would be buying. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that are just too brainwashed into the product to where they're going to that do that are going to be giving TKO the money that they want. But like I said, there's a lot of people that are hurting for money right now in this economy that can't.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, it's just sad, it really is. It's I know I said this wasn't gonna be a long one, but I get really the point of this is just it's really frustrating because I'm guilty of making excuses for this company when they do the stupid shit they
Mm-hmm.
do, and I've tried to call it out as much as I could. But this now, I can't. You can't defend this. Like this. This
Yeah,
is the one where this is the thing where the excuses have stopped, and now you got to say, look, this is just flat out stupid.
it is
And
because Vince would never have done this. He
no,
would never priced out the lower income families and stuff like this. He wouldn't have
no.
done it.
And say what you will about Vince McMahon, and I've said my piece about him. I hate the guy. I'll never like him. But the one thing I've always given him is that as much as the bullshit stupidity that he was putting out for the last decade, not only was it $10, but he was trying to have everybody watch his product. As washed up and as senile as that man was, he understood the metrics of business, and that's why it lasted as long as it has, because of his I don't know what the word is for it, but business acumen, I guess, is he knew, like, again, it's not really fair to judge certain things. So like I said before, I hate Vince McMahon, but from a business standpoint, he I think he understood like how to cater to fans in terms of the financial sense. Whereas with TKO, it feels like it's not even marketed for fans anymore. It's for celebrities and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and I mean it goes beyond just the finances and the ticket prices and pricing out the average consumer. It's just the state of the business, and I know that it was going this way anyway. It was headed towards this, and it's been a long time, coming to. But I mean, I, it's not what it was. The business isn't what it was, and under the Triple H administration, with these shows like what is it? That new show that came out that just blows the doors off of the storytelling aspect that they just put on Netflix. What's it called?
Untold.
Untold or something. Yeah, they pull the curtain back too far,
Yeah,
and it's just, and they're not even keeping kayfabe with their wrestlers' personal accounts to where they're all buddy buddy, even the people that they're supposed to be feuding with. It's I don't know. It's almost like wrestling is dead outside of just appreciating the athleticism. I don't know. It's just weird. It's really weird, and I think Vince he had a little bit more respect for that side of the business because he was old
yeah.
school. He wouldn't. I think he's probably appalled by what they're doing now, and pulling the curtain back as far as they are. I think that's probably one of the reasons why he resented Triple H for the NXT stuff, because that's where it all began, and he's just I don't know him and Sean and they're just I don't know. I just think that there's a lot of blame to be placed on those guys along with TKO because man, it's not as fun as it was. I still have I still have interest in it, but under Vince, he respected a lot more.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think he respects the business acumen more, and just I'm a Triple H guy, right? Like I've always defended him, because I loved what he did
Yeah.
with NXT for those number of years. But
Yeah, it was good, but this new show where they're revealing, and then half the stuff they say that I haven't watched yet, but half the stuff they say uh, that they put on this show is complete bullshit. It's just to get fans to think that some of the stuff they're doing behind the scenes is done a certain way when it's actually not. That you don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, but still, there was no need to actually make that show because we don't need to know every ins and out of the storytelling process and things. It's just I don't need to know every I don't, I don't need to know every ingredient they put in the recipe. I don't know what they're thinking, and I don't
I
know how fans can still, support the product when they do that. Still, it's just like a huge conflict of interest. I just,
you
I don't know
you want to know what it is?
what is it.
It's the casual audience.
Yeah,
It's not average. It's not for the hardcore fans anymore. It's not for everybody. It's the casuals.
well, yeah, yeah. I,
I mean, I've said my piece. Unless you have anything more to say.
I think, yeah, I think where all this stuff began was the whole Cody Rock controversy last year, and it just whatever bolts were hanging the doors that up, it just busted them wide loose, and that's how we are where we are now. With the kayfabe being totally dead, just totally dead, and uh, yeah, at least on that front. But yeah, the FWW, FTKO, ESPN in America.
My
I don't know.
sentiment exactly. I'm gonna call it here for tonight because I mean
Yeah.
it was an impromptu stream anyway, and I think we got our points across. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be doing the Alien Earth Roundtable for episode 3.
Yep.
Check that out. Do you want to plug
Aliens
anything
better than
shifty or?
yeah. Aliens better than wrestling.
I agree.
Yeah. Yeah, I can plug something. Thursday nights, 8:30 p.m. on Tommy and the Guinea Pig Collective and Vinny Art. It's the Collectible Pass Toy Show. 3 hours talking about toys from the 1960s all the way up to today. It's a lot of fun. And then Sunday nights over on the Real Review 3000, Chaos Central, and OnStar. It's a YouTube channel. We got the weekly wrap up and OnStar's Sunday Fun Day. We're going to play What the Dub and Jackbox. Get in the chat. We'll let you in there in the game and we'll have some fun. We'll have some fun.
Indeed, indeed. All right, guys. Well, that about wraps it up for tonight. Thank you for listening to our event sesh. Uh, yeah, that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for watching. This is the Oscinator signing out.
Later.